For these young possums, today is a big day. In just a few minutes, they will be driven down the road for re-release back into the wild. But right now, they spend a few final moments at WildCare Rehabilitation Center outside Bloomington, Indiana.
The purpose of WildCare is to provide professional care to sick, orphaned, or injured native wildlife and to educate the community about wildlife and inspire them to protect it. Step up. The number goes up and down day to day for sure, but a good estimate for right now would be about 200 individual patients. The species that we take in really vary. The big ones include opossums and eastern cottontail rabbits. We take in eastern box turtles, as well as other turtles and snakes, native songbirds, as well as native birds of prey. The opossums that are being released today came to us several months ago as orphans. Opossums don't have a very strong maternal instinct when it comes to looking for their babies. They can't count like squirrels and raccoons can. They know how many babies they have. Opossums don't. They have a lot. So we have babies that come to us either where their mother has disappeared, is unavailable, or their mother has been hit by a car and they were inside their mom's pouch when it happened. This turtle came in with this part of his shell hanging off, and it fused back together. So that's great news for him.
WildCare's mission is to provide expert care and to release animals back into the wild. Yet sometimes it's just not possible. By the time Potato the Possum reached WildCare, an inexperienced person had caused permanent damage.
Because the person didn't know how to properly rehab possums, they did not give her the proper diet with the correct nutrients. And they gave her a lot of bologna and hot dogs, and so that's caused her bones to be short and brittle. But she's not able to groom herself or feed herself properly, so she's not releasable back into the wild.
Most patients rehabilitated by WildCare suffer injuries because of humans. They're hit by cars, fed improperly, caught in traps, or just victims of a lack of understanding. And that's what makes education a vital part of WildCare's work.
People are afraid of animals. People will come up to you and they'll talk to you about situations they've had in animals in the past where they've harmed them because they were like, oh, I was so afraid this animal's gonna hurt me or my cat or my chicken. And a lot of times it's unfounded. The main purpose of education and why it's so important to me is to show people, hey, wildlife isn't out to get you. They're much more scared of you than you are of them. They've been here first. They deserve respect, not fear.
Today, Potato is an education ambassador, along with a curious wood duck named River, and Sully, the African tortoise. By exposing people to animals in a safe environment and allowing them to ask questions, WildCare hopes that some injuries to animals can be avoided.
So they become our ambassador animals, so they spend the remainder of their time here at the center where we take very good care of them, and then we take them to educational events where guests and especially children can look at them, and then we teach them about proper wildlife care, how to interact or not interact with animals out in the wild, what to do when they come across animals, and they're just a great teaching tool.
No bugs, no, you can't go outside.
Wildlife rehabilitation is not publicly funded. While the DNR is a good resource for information, individual wildlife rehabilitators and organizations like WildCare must rely on volunteers and donations.
So he gets a diet of 50% sort of bat food and then supplemented with mealworms.
Every year we take in between 12 to 1,800 animals. I can tell you that food for, over 1,000 animals does add up really quickly. There aren't a lot of wildlife rehabilitation centers. We help out with pretty much all of southern Indiana. The vast majority of our efforts are volunteer-based, so we're out here doing our best, pretty much.
We use a lot of strategies to be able to do the work that we do. We take in-kind donations of food and supplies, but we also receive donations when people drop off animals. It's not something that we require because we want that animal to get help no matter the situation, but it's important to know that it's not a public service and that we only exist because people want us to and because people put in the effort to volunteer and to donate.
The possums take a quick trip down the road to a volunteer's property. This area was selected because it will provide adequate food and water for its new residents. It's a satisfying moment for the staff and volunteers of WildCare, a tangible accomplishment to watch possums walk back into the wild.
They might actually be a little scared. So, hi.
There's a big sense of satisfaction when you are able to see a sick or injured animal come in and watch the whole process and then get to see them released back into the wild. The ecosystem is really important to me, and a lot of times it gets disrupted by humans. And so volunteering here at WildCare gives me an opportunity to rehab animals and put them back into the ecosystems to do the job that they are here to do.